Give me what I want!
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls of all ages, thank you once again for tuning in to another episode of the GOW Generation Wrestling Podcast. As always, yours truly, the franchise, aka the showstopper, better known as the GOW's resident tribal chief. And with me, as always, I got my tag team partner, my brother, my family. He is the flyest in the room, Mr. 1, 2, 3. Been that ass down, K Breezy, aka EC's resident Isaac Hayes. King, what's good?
Man, what's good, man? It's the Monday night, man. You know how we do, man. It's always a block party with the GOW, man. We always partying. We always kicking in with the folks. But, you know, we got to shoot from the hip a little bit, man. So, you know, we got to, what it do, man? What it do, brother? What it do? Oh, man. Feel so honored, man. Feel so honored. But, man, you know what we do, man. We're going to talk a little talk, man. Talk about some of the stuff that happened this past weekend or whatnot. And then, I guess, get prepared for what we might expect tonight.
Hey, Earl says, just kidding, y'all second on the list. Damn, man, well, who first?
God.
hey, Earl, I got something for you.
Talking like that's a good way to get yourself referred to in the past tense.
Get it together, Earl.
Yeah.
Get it
together. He found more buttons to push, Earl. He found
hey, right on time.
Oh,
yo, bro, what's going on, man?
Man, like I said, man, you know, just, you know, hey, getting ready, man, for another week of wrestling, man. You know how it is, man. Shit.
Absolutely. Well, okay, so I guess let's jump right into it, man. Triple H. So,
all
right. Outside of the initial takeover of WWE, this will be Triple H's first full week, firmly 100% in control of WWE creative, without absolutely any Vince McMahon interference or input at all. So I'm looking forward to it tonight. We got 2 title matches. I know one, we got the tag team title match. I can't remember what the Bronson Reed versus Walter for the Intercontinental Championship, bro. So I'm really excited about that.
I feel some type of way about big meaty men slapping meats. So
yeah, for sure.
So you know that's what's gonna be.
So we got that. Tonight's going to be Adam Pearce's first official night solely as the general manager of WWE RAW. And of course, on Friday, we got Nick Aldis with his first, well, I guess you could say his first full night, but technically night number 2 of being the SmackDown general manager. I'm looking forward to it, bro. We got Survivor Series coming up, bro. We got, what is it? Crown Jewel coming up. Dude, okay, so before we talk about, that, because I know Raw's about to come on in a minute, I want to talk to you about something you and I, we kind of talked about very briefly earlier, man. And that's WWE and AEW and talent contracts. And you and I, man, the one thing about me, and you know this, I love me a good conspiracy theory. I've always felt like a conspiracy theory was just the truth waiting to happen. I've always felt like it was a little bit of predictive programming, if you will. And even though it might not always happen 100% the way it's laid out, for the most part, a theory is more than just a theory. It usually comes to fruition in some form, shape, or another. And the thing we were talking about was, for years, people have been saying that AEW has almost felt like a farm system for WWE. And we talked about Paul Heyman, how, for years, Paul Heyman was taking money from Vince and the WWF at the time secretly, and nobody knew about that. And it would later come out, once Paul Heyman was starting to actually, work for Vince, that, ECW was low-key being funded by Vince and the WWE. Dude, we talk about talent contracts. We talked about how easily or seemingly easy it was for Jay to jump ship to WWE, and how easy it seemed the second time around for CM Punk to get released, if you will, by AEW. Now, when CM Punk, when he had an all-out media scrum last year, people thought that he was done with the company, 100% done. And Tony Khan ended up not necessarily getting rid of him. He just took him off for a while, then eventually brought him back, gave him his own show and everything. But during this time in AEW,
keep his title.
That too, and keep the title. And during this time in AEW, also, you know, CM Punk, there was the pictures that made his way around stage. You know, that infamous day when he ended up going to WWE Raw and wanted to meet up with Vince McMahon and Triple H and I guess make amends. And then it was reported that he was later escorted out by security and things of that nature. And that was very shocking in and of itself, considering he had just gotten to AEW. They literally marketed this guy as the face of the company, and he hasn't stepped foot in the WWE ring in almost 10 years. And then it comes out after the whole Jack Perry thing at All In this year, you know, that CM Punk low-key had already made it known he wanted to kind of go back to WWE in the first place. And then we had this situation that happens in Wembley. You know, that whole debacle, almost a year to the day of All Out. He gets released from his contract. Now the rumors are swirling. Survivor Series is sold out of Chicago, Illinois. WWE's been dropping references and Easter eggs left and right. CM Punk talking about he's only got 2 months left at this point now, a little bit over a month. Bro, and you was like, yo, what if CM Punk already knew in his mind that he wanted to get out of AEW? But he just had to have the right situation, the right circumstance to do so. Then you hear Tony Khan talking about he feared for his life. And then you hear about the incident with him and Jack Perry. And that ended up blowing up on the internet before the pay-per-view even ended, which is crazy because we was like, bro, how did news travel that fast? They way across the pond. Like, everything just seemed a little too perfect.
Too perfect.
Give me your thoughts on the whole CM Punk situation, the AEW, WWE contracts. We know WWE, man, they're very ironclad for the most part. Outside of that mishap with Malachi Black, it's usually, what is it, like a 90-day no compete. So you can't even show up on another program. The only contract from AEW that was up, and I think that actually really enforced him not showing up on TV, was William Regal, but he was only a general manager to begin with.
Right. First of all, shout out to Leo. What's good, Leo? And Earl says, I'm expecting at least a 3.8 or better show tonight from Triple H. Wow, Earl, you got high hopes, boy. Woo, you must be on cloud 99. Look, the whole, I like a good conspiracy. You know, if it makes sense, it makes sense. I just feel like, okay, the whole Jay thing, we talked about that, and I felt like her contract, which Tony Khan made that very clear, it was coming up. He made an offer, they made an offer, he made an offer, they made an offer, he made a final offer, they made their final offer, she took their offer, she's gone. And as far as her exit and the way that she left, it was fine. I had no problem with it because, once understanding, like it expired, she came, she did the thing with Statliner, they ended that. Obviously, good gracious with the company, so there's no issue there. CM Punk, on the other hand, not only as we're getting a new intro and a season premiere for the Raw, Monday Night Raw, which may be one of the few last Monday Night Raws we might be actually calling, because I don't know what to call this show outside of Monday Night Raw.
Yeah.
But the whole CM Punk thing, I mean, if he wanted out, was it before Jack Perry or was it during the first medium scrum? Like, and then again, did you really want out? Because let's be honest about it. If you really weren't that keen on going to AEW, but you went to AEW because WWE wasn't going to give you the opportunity, then what were you really bitching and complaining about?
Right.
Like, don't get me wrong. I won't blame everything on CM Punk because I do believe he came in with the good intentions of just being there, being a veteran, being helpful, giving advice. But I think a lot of guys, because they had been in AEW for a couple of years, they got their heads up their ass. Like, bro, like you can't, like, come on, man, you're not gonna just tell me everything that he's just doing or saying is just totally out of pocket, which I don't think it is. I think some people think that they're better, they're more than what they really are. Hey man, Paige, and you spoke out of turn, and then when you spoke out of turn, it was like, bro, you ain't even had no conversation about it. It was like you just went and did it. Now, what I was hitting on earlier when you told me that the sold out crowd, Sami Zayn is coming out for Monday Night Raw. He don't have his boy no more. His boy got traded to SmackDown. But the thing about CM Punk is that, you know, we wanted to see this guy come in. He wanted to be there. He wanted to work with a lot of guys. He wanted to do just he wanted to do what Bryan Danielson is doing. He just come in, you know what I'm saying, wrestle with some of the new talent, just and do what you enjoy doing. And then as we, you know, we got the elites, we got the page, we got all of that stuff that happened. And it's like, man, I just can't see. I don't know no one else that he had an issue with. Like, who else did he have all that much of an issue for everybody to feel some type of way about it? Like, Hangman and them was one thing. Or actually, I wouldn't even say Hangman. Kenny and them, which might have predicated on Hangman.
Well, remember this too, though. Remember this, that the soft brand split or roster split, the people that was on Collision were the people who didn't have an issue with CM Punk or didn't mind working with CM Punk. So actually, if you think about it, the roster was very divided because you literally had enough people to make a whole show for CM Punk that didn't mind working with CM Punk. You had Chris Jericho at the time who said, hey, look, you know, hey, that's water under the bridge. I won't mind working with CM Punk again. And then CM Punk even came out with an interview saying, you know, that he wouldn't mind eventually stepping in the ring with a Kenny Omega and a Hangman Page. And then you hear about, you know, stuff like that. So my thing is, and this is me. All right, fuck it. I'm gonna shoot from him. I'm gonna be honest. CM Punk is cut from a different cloth. You know, unfortunately, the world, and it is what it is. I'm not about to be PC. The world is so bitch made now. Everybody gets offended. Everybody got their panties in the bunch. Everybody is soft. I mean, comedians can't be comedians, man. People go to a comedy club just to get offended. That's how stupid and soft this world has gotten. CM Punk comes from a different era, man. CM Punk comes from an era of quote unquote tough guys and girls in the locker room. See, CM Punk isn't a guy that plays fighter. CM Punk is a fighter. CM Punk is a guy that legitimately has a chip on his shoulder. He went to the UFC, MMA, and my guy went out here and got his ass whooped twice, got embarrassed, but he wasn't afraid to go out there and throw them hands for real. He's not a guy pretending to be a fighter. When you got guys like, you know, like the Elite, Kenny Omegas, the Young Bucks, and things like that, you got people who present themselves one way, and then when it comes to some real life shit, they act like they scared to defend themselves, you know? And my thing is, it's like, okay, CM Punk has openly admitted to wanting to bury the hatchet, to wanting to meet with him. And then you remember when he got the calls or the text, whatever, from the lawyer saying he got to stay away from the Elite and all this. It's like, bro, at what point do we grow up? At what point do we put business first? You get what I'm saying? It's like, okay, CM Punk, he already knew he fucked up. He's admitted that. And I'm not saying it feels right. I'm not saying the Elite don't have a reason for feeling how they feel, but it's 4, 5, 6 of y'all, and this is one person. This one person is willing to bury the hatchet, you know. Okay, it is what it is. People get in fights all the time. And then for Tony Khan to say he literally feared for his life, this is a guy who was the biggest mark for ECW, one of the most violent promotions in wrestling history. So it's like, for somebody who has claimed to have so much wrestling knowledge, for a guy that claims to be so in tune and you know, and intertwined with the inner workings of pro wrestling, and now having a pro wrestling show, I don't understand, like, what could have happened that severely to where you feel like legitimately your life was on the line.
Tony's twitchy. If you notice, Tony's a bit twitchy. So not to say he does anything, but he's just skittish. You know, he seems to be a little nerve-wracking. So a lot of chaos seems to rattle him a little bit. So if chaos was going on and people are yelling and screaming and threatening, he feared for his life. Like the small, like, again, not to say that you can't disregard what he might have, what CM Punk did, or what Jungle Boy did, or what happened between the Elite and CM Punk, which, again, I still lightweight felt that was some BS, because it was like, you guys wanted him here. He comes there. And it's like, I just want to get a better understanding of what actually happened. Like, for y'all to feel like y'all had to disrespect him, or for him to feel like he had to respond back. Now again, we hit back on Hangman Page coming out and cutting the promo he cut. It's like, bro, did you really need to do that? And if you wanted to do something, I'm pretty sure y'all could have discussed it Even though him and Eddie Kingston don't get along with each other, but guess what? They were able out there to go out there and make something work. So it's like, if I can see them two do it, why couldn't you do it? Like, why did you have to go the way that you went? And then you want to act like you didn't do anything wrong, but at the same time, it's like, bro, but yeah, you talked out of pocket to somebody or about somebody coming there, or because you felt something about all these guys coming to your company. Wasn't that the whole purpose of the company? It was a company to give new people, present people, and some of the people walking out or on their way out, a last opportunity, a fresh opportunity, or a new opportunity. So I don't get it, man. Like, how do you bitch and complain? Because unless you have some of these bigger names over, bro, nobody was feeling y'all. Like, it really took y'all for a minute. I mean, Hangman Page and Kenny Omega worked real well, but they worked real well because you had guys like SoCal Val, which were Kazarian, Christopher Daniels. You had other guys that were established outside of AEW, but they were in AEW and they helped made the name out of you. So it's no different than CM Punk. Level of magnitude of favoritism or favorite, sure, but all that other stuff, man, I don't disregard what he might have did wrong. I don't disregard what they did wrong. And then the whole thing in London with Jack Perry, I feel like that got blown out of proportion, especially for Phil and what he did on camera and what's been reported as far as how he reacted. I don't think you. But then again, Jungle Boy being this young punk talking tough, but then it was like like you say, when somebody's in your face, now all of a sudden you retracting your words, you retracting your actions. I'm curious to see how long before Jungle Boy come back, because man. Back, and I don't know if Punk was still injured, so maybe that's the reason why the Elite came back sooner than Punk did, because Punk was injured, so he had to be out a little bit longer. But it's just something about all that just screams just some BS. Now I say all that because you said Chicago sold out for Survivor Series. And even though they're saying that they're not interested in Punk, I wouldn't be surprised if he just randomly showed up. Music can't go any damn way. They swerving people. This is wrestling business. You can't take all that. Even if you hear, they don't want to bring him in. That's a good way to make you think he's not coming. But then, surprise, cult personality. Here it is.
Yeah. William says respect. Oh, you know what? Let me pull up on the screen. Respectfully, Punk is a former WWE champion, so he should disrespect Jungle Girl. These people are now on the same level as him. The locker room in AEW does not have a leader, obviously. Well, no, because Moxley stepped up. Jericho, you
non-WWE talent.
Okay.
Non-WWE talent.
True.
They didn't have no leadership. Yeah,
that's true.
Jericho was there and Moxley was there, but it took them a minute to really be there. But at the same time,
that's true.
You got a lot of these guys because we're creating our own company, we're doing our own thing, we're making ourselves the stars, we're making ourselves the headliners of the show. So you got those egos trying to tell a guy that basically brought back wrestling ice cream bars, ice cream sandwich, bro. So it's like there's just certain things that you just don't. You can say you can try to pretend like it was, but I don't really think that's the case, man. You like William said, Jungle Boy or Jungle Girl spoke out of turn, got a little bit too rah, didn't thought Phil wasn't gonna do nothing because Phil just came back and just showed you, man, hey man, I'm a different kind of cloth.
Right.
You want to have a discussion about something, we can talk about it, but the way you go about it, that's the whole thing, which is why I feel like Paige was wrong, and I felt like Jungle Boy was a bit wrong, but at the same time, Phil's reaction didn't make it better. It didn't make it any better.
As right now, we got Jay Uso and Sami Zayn in the ring. Leo says MJF is a homegrown locker room leader. Thoughts?
Say that again.
Leo says MJF is a homegrown locker room leader.
Now, I would say that now, but prior to the company really taking off, it was like there really wasn't much that was really said after that. But I think Punk is going to show up at Survivor Series. As much as they're claiming, he's not going to. William says if Seth Rollins went to AEW, Omega, and then would pull the same shit. Be honest, I really think so too. But again, because not really. I don't think they would because they didn't pull it with Moxley. They didn't pull this with Moxley. They didn't pull this with Jericho.
But they knew Mox will legitimately fuck their ass up.
But fuck their ass up or not, you not gonna walk up to Moxley the same way you walk up to CM Punk. But if you thought that you could walk up to CM Punk like that, then that says more about you than anything. That you just felt you can disrespect that man and he wasn't gonna do shit. Moxley bitch slapped you and then said try again. But again though, until those guys got there and established themselves and showed, hey, I'm the star. This is what we're doing. Because where was all that at when Moxley came in? Where was all that when all these other guys came in? It was nowhere because you needed those guys to help build you up. And now that you built up, you think you the shit. Well, okay, go to WWE. Let's see if you the same there as you are here, which we all know that ain't gonna be the thing.
Absolutely. As right now, we got another great Nakamura vignette. Bro, I'm loving the way they present my boy Shinsuke, nigga man. All right, man. Look, so I want to get one more topic in, man, so we can get up out of here. I know you got to eat. I got to eat. But the last thing I want to talk to you about, man, and a lot of people, and I don't know if this, well, yes. Okay, again, man. Why am I trying to play?
Leo says CM Punk wears the biggest panties out of them all. I got mad for Jungle Boy saying "Cry Me a River" on camera. I mean, I don't think it was so much as I think it's.
Hold on, Leo. I'm confused. I thought you was a CM Punk fan. I'm so confused.
I see. My thing is, I don't think he got his panties in a bunch because of that. I think it's the way that Jungle Boy was acting. You went out on camera acting one way, you acting this different guy in front of everybody, but when we backstage, no, man, you a totally different person. I don't care what type of person you are, man. That's gonna rub anybody the wrong way. But Leo's right to his opinion because that's what we do.
Absolutely. Real talk for real fans.
Best thing can happen to AEW is Omega and the Young Bucks go to WWE. I mean, they don't need to go to WWE. They just need to I can't even say they need to stop winning because they've been actually losing a lot. Kenny Omega been taking a lot of losses. It's like these guys ain't taking all the wins. It's not like Moxley. You look at Moxley's AEW record, I don't think this man's got more than 10 losses. And he's been there for 4 years.
But to be fair, here's where I would show a lot of love to Mox.
Right.
Mox took the company under his wing twice. Once during the pandemic era, and then of course, when CM Punk had that big blow up and they needed to throw the belt on somebody real quick out the blue. Remember, Mox was on his way home. He was supposed to be chilling. And not only did he not get it,
we still waiting on him to go home.
I was saying, not only did he not get a 6-week vacation, but then he went on to wrestle like a year and a half in a row every week after that. So it was with Mox, he's one of those guys whose win-loss record I actually truly feel is earned in the company. Because I'm pretty sure, he would have rather not have fought as much as he has had to. That's the same way I feel like about a guy like Orange Cassidy. Bro, Tony Khan has been having this man every single week. And he's even said, even when he lost the title, he's like, bro, I'm sore. I'm beat up. But he keeps going out there fighting because he knows TK dependent on him. And speaking of leaders, I think a guy like Orange Cassidy, as quiet as it's kept, I don't think a leader always has to be the most vocal. I think a leader can also be a leader by action. And I think quiet as it's kept, I know a lot of people, man, have their different opinions on him, but I feel like Orange Cassidy has been a huge staple and presence of AEW. What are your thoughts on that?
No, I agree with that. I agree 100% with you, Earl. I'm thinking more 10 L's over the whole 4-year span that he's pretty much been there. He doesn't have 10 years in the entirety of his career. It's like, bro, like if AEW, that's what I meant by that, not just the 1 year of them doing records. But I do feel like guys like Orange Cassidy, the best friends, and others have been locker room leaders because they haven't. You got to think about it. We've been saying, man, when we gonna see these people win titles? Man, when we gonna see these people win? Man, when we gonna see these guys win? When we gonna see these guys again? Because we've been watching so many other guys put other people over, and they don't succeed. And the funny part is, like, they still succeed as in popularity, as what fans want to see or whatnot like that. But it's like, man, who's winning these championships? Who's winning these big main event matches to put the and they've been losing some. They've had their share of wins, but it's not just them. Look at Ricky Starks. You look at what who was another one? I want to say the Dark Order. You can even say Brody Lee to a degree when he got to AEW. It was like that guy came in but helped give praise to a lot of young people. So it's I don't think it's I just don't think it was all on CM Punk. I think he came in with the right intentions and he did the right things. He might have been a little too honest, and I think a lot of people took to the rumor mill of CM Punk. They took to this is how he is, or they know somebody that don't like him. So they took more of what that person. I don't think it's a lot of what he necessarily did wrong. I think a lot of people prejudged him, and he might have said something that they didn't agree with and they thought differently, and then they acted ignorant about it, and he kind of saw it and was just like, all right, well, fuck you then. And it's like, well, fuck you too. All right, well, whatever then. And then it got to where it got. I saw that Mox loves wrestling. Even in his off days, he's around wrestling because he loves it so much. So I don't think he minded at all. No, he don't. And you see that in Bryan Danielson, and you see that in quite a few other people. I think Phil is like that, but he needed to get his feet wet. But it is what it is, man. We'll figure that out another day in time.
Absolutely. But King, hey, look, man, it's getting to be about 8:20. We're about 20 minutes in.
Yeah, man.
Actually, we actually almost a half hour in on the show, 20 minutes in.
Right, for us. Yeah, for us it is.
WWE. But with that being said, man, bro.
Let's get to the comment real quick before you go. He says, I think you're placing too much talent level on AEW. Cassidy is basically Santino Marella. AEW's main eventers are WWE mid-carders. True. I wouldn't put Cassidy as a Santino Marella. He's way better than Santino. But a lot of AEW's mid-carders or main eventers are maybe mid-carders in WWE, but that's WWE standard of how they will push them.
Yeah.
I think, and even though I don't think he's a main eventer, but he's definitely getting to main event status. You look at a guy like Eli Drake, aka LA Knight.
Yeah.
I was the first one to say, man, he was a mid-carder. Now you trying to tell me this dude is top-notch fan favorite main eventer? He's gonna be in the top spots with the top people.
Hey, to be fair though, the franchise seen it. The franchise seen it.
Yeah, you seen it, but at that same time, it's like you see that in a lot of guys, man, when they're not all WWE. You know, they always kind of get that knock. So he's not totally wrong with him. You're not totally wrong.
I'm just glad he was able to recover from Max Dupree, because I thought that was
very much
suicide.
So. Very much so. You're not wrong, but again, I think some people could be successful if WWE actually cared to push the talent, and the talent does what they need to do. Then Leo says, man, I'm excited for Full Gear. I'm sure you are. And then he says, that was pretty much it, man. But other than that, man, like you said, man, we about 30 minutes in on the show. We're 20 minutes into Raw right now. Sammy, I think he's going through a little midlife crisis. KO goes, and now all of a sudden he's flipping out in anger. I'm pretty sure he might be turning heel. I think his good guy run is done for a while. But other than that, man, we're gonna catch the rest of Raw. We're gonna come back on by about 10:30, 10:40, talk to the people. Earl says, I disagree. AEW talent puts on consistent, better pay-per-views than WWE's main star do.
Yeah,
I agree with that, Earl, but I gotta admit, it's been kind of 50-50 lately with both companies. They've been both having some mid-ass pay-per-views. Earl, the man booth, damn right, man. Earl, damn right. But I think it's been 50-50. I think for every when AEW has a miss, WWE's had a miss, and when WWE's had a win, AEW's had a win. So I think it's been 50-50. But again, man, we'll talk about that later. But right now, my boy, send the people home so we can come back later on. Make sure y'all come back later on.
Make sure y'all bring y'all asses on, because guess what? We got a block party for y'all. I'm on IPA number 1. By the time we get back on the show, I may be on number 2. I may be on number 3. Who knows? That's for you to tune in to find out. But with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, we'll see y'all in a minute.
Bye-bye, bitch.